Rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Today, I have a testimony for you. Back in 2019, I had a job opportunity that would relocate me from Dallas to Houston. It was paying a lot of money, a lot more money than what I was currently getting paid. At this time, I was part of a life group in my church. One of my closest sisters in that life group was saying, pray through this. See if the Lord wants you to move through this. Sadly, at the time, I wasn't mature enough to receive what she was saying. I was too busy looking at the dollar versus looking at the calling. So I picked up both me and my son and we moved to Houston. To keep a long story short, that job did not work out for me. I was plagued with stress, anxiety, depression, and eventually I was let go from that job in February of 2021. So now I'm an unemployed single mother. More stress, more anxiety continued to stack on top of itself. Then the Lord supplied a ram in the bush. He set me up at a temporary situation, supplied me just enough to get by. I went from a place of having a lot to having the bare minimum. Even God can use your mistakes for the greater good of his plan. I think it should be noted, prior to this moment in my career, jobs have always came to find me. I always took what was given to me versus consistently going after what I wanted. So in November of 2021, the Lord was navigating me in a direction to apply for a job with a company in which I was trying to get on since undergrad. Not just that, it was in an elevated position. I was like, surely this job ain't for me, is it, Lord? And he was like,
go ahead and apply within.
But all the jobs I've ever applied for, I've never gotten them jobs.
You gonna be obedient to my word, or you gonna hold on to the past?
So I applied for the job. 2 weeks later, they set up an interview. And I took the lesson that I learned from my previous season from what my sister was telling me in Dallas. Pray to see if this is what God has for you. So before each interview, I got on my knees 10 minutes before the interview and I prayed, Lord, if this is what you have for me, let it be so. Let nothing come in between this blessing that you're sowing in my life. Use this vessel to speak the words that you would have me to say in truth and in its entirety. Amen. 2 weeks later, they called me and told me that I got the position. I got on my knees and I rejoiced because a dream deferred was finally coming into fruition. Something I actually prayed to the Lord about some years ago, actually being delivered to me in its proper season. But pause your praise break for just a second. The company gave me a soft start date of January 2022, but because of the equipment delays, my start date was pushed back to none other than February 2022, an exact 365 days from the date that I was fired the year before. Glory. Ha! The Lord took a mistake that I made and turned it into the good for his glory. I was elevated in position. I got the opportunity to work with the company I've been seeking to work with, and I could do all this out of the comfort of my own home. A full restoration. Come on, somebody. If you are experiencing spiritual delay, job difficulties, and overall discouragement, give your situation to the Lord your God, because not only will he restore you, he will also elevate you. Be blessed.